Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tip Tuesday. We are talking clairsentience today. And this is part of my intuition series. And for this month, I really decided to do some tips around how you can expand your all of the different clairs, right? The claircognizance, the clairsentience, all of those beautiful things. So this month we are every single Tuesday we are talking about a different intuitive sense, and so this week we are talking clairsentience. And hopefully you guys watched last week's because I did talk about some kind of key tips as far as intuition and how you can grow from just an entire standpoint of how you can really tap in. And gave you some really useful tips as far as like intuition 101 as well. So today we're going to talk about clairsentience. And clairsentience, they are the people that perceive information through feeling, right? Both physically and emotionally. Um, and these people are really sensitive to other people's energy, right? Any kind of energy, to be honest. And there's the empaths, right? They kind of fall into this category as well. And here's the thing. The clairsentience of the world, like and empaths, like they can be really negatively impacted by the energy of other people. And so it's really important that people who do have this as their main dominant clair, that you really do work on protecting your energy every single day. Otherwise, you wander around like Pigpen and picking up all of everybody's like negative energy, and it just kind of accumulates on you. So you have to practice really good energetic protection, as well as you're going to have to make sure that your energetic hygiene, as far as like just cleansing, doing salt baths, making sure that you kind of use whether that be sacred smoke from sage or Palo Santo, to just kind of clean your energy off at the end of every single day. And if you guys don't know, in here, I also grouped everything. All of the Tip Tuesdays are in here, and I did talk about energetic protection. And so you can see that Tip Tuesday all around how you can learn to protect your energy. So it's really important that clairsentience and those empaths learn how to protect your energy. So here's some indicators that this may be a main clair for you, right? Last week, I talked all about how, generally speaking, there's one clair that is a lot more dominant. Like it's the way that you generally receive intuitive messages. And that's usually clear seeing, clear feeling, clear knowing, or clear hearing, right? And so today we're talking about clear feeling, right? Clear sentience. And so ways you might be able to tell if this is your main clair, right, your main way of receiving intuitive guidance, is if you feel overwhelmed in a crowd. And I'm not talking just a little uncomfortable, like you walk into a crowd and you're like, nope, I'm out. Like you don't like going places where there's a lot of people because you end up picking all that energy up and it just completely overwhelms your senses. You can sense the energy, mood, and atmosphere of a room or building like as soon as you walk in. Like as soon as you walk in, you can be like, nope, or yes, this is going to be a fun party, right? um, you're extremely sensitive to the energy in your own environment, right? So these people too, they may get really like almost twitchy, right? When if there's like clutter in their home, things like that. So like when things are just out of place and it's just creating stagnant energy, like they're really the energy of their home can really affect them. You get super emotional during movies or maybe like those commercials during the Olympics. People tend to think that you are either kind of you're too sensitive or God, you're so emotional. You can feel and sense like other people's pain. You may find it difficult to watch the news, right, due to the emotions that it brings up within you, as well as you receive gut feelings, right, about people and situations, like big gut feelings, as well as you might be sensitive to changes in temperature and the moods of others. You can read between the lines in conversations, right? So you can sort of feel what their intention is versus necessarily what they're saying to you, right? So if someone's like, I'm fine, and you're like, bullshit, you are. Also, you can sense other people's emotions and are extremely empathetic towards people. And so I do want to preface though, because there's kind of some confusion sometimes around the difference between being an empath and being clairsentient. So I kind of want to clear that up too. Um, So an empath is someone who can sense and feel emotions and energies of other people, animals, and even objects. And clairsentience, they can also kind of sense people and feelings and empathize, but it's kind of at a much broader level. So clairsentience, empathetic abilities, they go beyond the level of an empath. Clairsentients are more able to pick up on the intuitive messages behind the feelings that they're receiving. They can take this energy into their body and receive insight and guidance around those feelings, whereas empaths may just like feel it, right? They're like, oh, someone's not feeling very well, or someone's angry, right? But you don't actually, there's not a lot of intuitive messages behind it, right? If you're just empathic, if you're just sort of feeling people's energy, and empaths also a lot of times, um, empaths tend to share feelings of that person in a close proximity to them, right? While clairsentience can tell the thoughts, emotions of others while they're in close proximity or not, right? So they can do it long distance. If they're on the phone with grandma, they may be like, Grandma, something's not up. You're not telling me everything, right? So that's kind of the difference. So empaths, it's usually a more localized feeling. So it's near other people. That's sort of where you're getting those messages. And clairsentience is kind of a little bit more broad, as well as you can get additional intuitive guidance and messages around that. Clairsentience can sense when someone is watching them and may experience feelings when someone is in danger or in pain, right? It's that gut feeling that you get, and you're like, oh my God, I need to call so and so because something's not right. And then it turns out that, yeah, so and so broke their ankle or whatever, right? It's that kind of thing, right? And it's that almost precognition gut feeling like I've got to do something right now about something that's not necessarily happening in your immediate vicinity. Does that make sense? Um, so clairsentience can also pick up the feelings of spirits and their guidance team. You can kind of tune into the energy of rooms and detect feelings, what's going on in the room, like even if nobody's there, right? So you can work with your guidance team. And so when you're meditating, your guides may be sending you feelings, right? Versus images. They may be sharing how much they love you through a feeling of overwhelming, like, oh my God, like that unconditional love and joy, right? So you may end up feeling things during meditation versus seeing things or knowing or hearing, right? So if you have those abilities, you're just kind of you're more than just empathic, right? So that's kind of the distinguishing factor, because a lot of people kind of use empathic and I don't want to use them interchangeably, if that makes sense. And just because you're empathic and you can build clairsentience, like don't think that you can't do that. But a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm an empath. I feel all the people's emotions and stuff. But when you build it into understanding what those are actually telling you and you learn how to control it and protect yourself, like that's where the gold is, if that makes sense. Okay, so here are some tips that you can use to strengthen your clairsentience. And remember, you can grow and build any of the clairs, right? Some of them, if you're just starting out, you may want to build the one that you're most dominant in, right? And then build up from there. But again, if you want to learn how to build up that clairsentience, that clear feeling as an intuitive sense, here are some tips for you. So, first of all, practice with a friend by tuning into their energy. Discuss the vibe that you're getting from them and get instant feedback, right? So, have a friend who's open to this kind of wackiness and just be like, hey, can I just like tune into your energy field and feel maybe how they're feeling, right? And just tune in and be like, you know what? I'm feeling like there's a little bit of heaviness in your heart. You seem a little bit sad, or you might be a little bit angry, right? That kind of thing. And so just practicing with people who are open is a really great way, because you get instant feedback on, yes, is this accurate? No? Okay, great. Well, then let me tune back in and see how I can tell the difference. Of course, meditation, right? Y'all know I love meditation. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Meditation raises your vibration and allows you to tune into these abilities. Um, focus on the feelings that you receive during the meditation, right? That's the key when you want to grow, because and I talk about meditation a lot. But the key about how building it is you want to focus on that one thing. So when you're doing and you're trying to strengthen your clairvoyance, like I talked about last week, you're focusing on the pictures that you're receiving, right? And when you put it all together, right, that's where the whole picture comes in and you feel and sense and know and all the things. Um, but for this, when you want to grow it, you want to sit. I need to learn to take a breath. Um, you need to learn, and you want to just sit in the meditation about how you're feeling, right? And that's how you grow, because then you can understand what those feelings are telling you. Excuse me. Okay. The next one is practice reading photographs, right? Work with a friend who knows the person, right? A person that you don't know, but they do. And pay attention to the feeling that you get about the person in the photo. Look at the picture, look at the person in the eyes of the photo, right? And just kind of tune in, and what do you feel about them? What kind of emotions do they bring up, right? What can you tell about that person based on the information you're receiving from a feeling in your body? Um, because sometimes you can figure out how that, like if that person is, maybe that person's sick or that person passed away, and based on the feelings you get, you can tell, like, oh my God, this person, they, maybe they died of a heart attack. Like, I feel heaviness in my chest. Like, it's what happened, what's going on with their chest, or that kind of thing. So you can build up that sense by looking at photographs. Again, working with someone who actually knows the person in the picture is super helpful. Um, you can visualize colors, but then focus on the feeling that each of the colors invokes, right? Because sometimes colors, they can tell you a lot of things, right? In general, right? Blue makes you feel sad. Red is fiery, right? Or it's angry, right? But how it makes you feel, and it's a unique way too that you can get intuitive messages, right? It's like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this, and it's bringing this thought of a certain color, or oh my gosh, I see this color and it's making me feel angry, or it's making me feel passionate, right? Because those are two very different emotions. So visualizing colors and how they each make you feel is a great way too to opening up to this Claire. Um, Focus on your environment, the one that you're sitting in right now. How does the energy of your space make you feel? Try decluttering it, sit back down and recognize how it makes you feel now. You can also focus on the energy of a room when you walk in. How does it make you feel? And sense it, right? Going to a party and you go to someone's house or whatever, and you walk in, you're like, how does this make me feel? And you don't have to sit there for an hour assessing how it makes you feel. Just that initial gut instinct, like, is this going to be a good party, or is it like chaos going to reign? Right? But you can sort of get that feeling when you walk in. That's a great way to build up that Claire. The other thing is psychometry. And psychometry, this is by reading objects, the energy of objects, right? So ask a friend for something that has meaning to them, but that you like know nothing about. And then read the energy of that object. What feeling does it invoke? This works really well with jewelry because the person wears it frequently, and so it ends up with their energy on it. So psychometry, understanding what the feelings of an object is. Um, I will say though that again, be careful about the objects that you're kind of like reaching out and touching, if you will. If you are the person kind of who can't go into a antique store without feeling overwhelmed because there's just a lot of energy, yeah, you just be careful. Because again, objects hold information. It holds energy of the people that owned it before you. And so again, if you're going shopping for antiques, before you bring it in your home, make sure that you cleanse it, right? Whether you use sacred smoke or some other cleansing tool in your arsenal, make sure that you're cleansing it from any kind of energy so you're not bringing someone else's maybe bad juju into your home. Right. So if you're going antique shopping, make sure that you cleanse it. You ask your guides and angels. You call an archangel Michael to protect it, and clear away anything that's residual on it so that you can bring it into your home, and that it brings you joy with renewed energy. So, um, yeah, so there's some easy tips for clairsentience. Next week, I think we're talking claircognizance, which is my main gift, and I love talking about it, but it's the most sort of confusing and most difficult one to sort of trust in. So Claire knowing is what we're going to be talking about next week. So I can't wait to hear about how you guys are using this information. And I will catch you guys all next Tuesday. But thank you guys all for being here for Tip Tuesday. I love being here.